Today we're going to talk about squares, and we're going to do this problem to see how it's being done and what you need to be thinking first when you solve such a problem. Now, first of all, let's read it. It says that given we have a MATH is a square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight square. Before I read any further, I'm going to have to mark on my picture all the things I know about a square. I know that all sides are going to be congruent. That's first thing. Then I know all angles have to be 90 degrees. So I'm going to mark all my angles as 90 degrees. Okay, I know that the diagonals are going to be congruent and they're going to bisect each other. So let me do this in a different color. Let's go red. So I'm going to mark all my diagonals congruent. And also I know that they intersect at 90-degree angle. So this is also 90 right there. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and read the problem. It also says that MA is 6. Well, if MA is 6, I already know that all the other sides are going to be 6 no matter what. So if I'm looking here, it says, what is HM? Well, I already know that's going to be 6. What's MS? I don't know that yet. And I have to find some angles. All right, now looking at... let me mark this in green. Let's look at this triangle right here in green. Okay, we know that it has a 90-degree angle, so that makes it right. And also, those two sides are congruent, which makes it isosceles. Now, just by doing this, I understand that it's a right isosceles triangle, which means those two angles are going to be congruent and their measure is going to be 45 degrees. Okay, how do I know that? If you remember the special right triangles, okay, one of them is the 45, 45, 90, and the 45, 45, 90, it's a right isosceles triangle. So this means if I look here, it says measure of angle ATS. ATS, which is this right here. Well, guess what? This is 90 and it's an isosceles triangle, so this has to be 45 degrees. Okay. Now the other one says measure of MSA. MSA, which is this one right here. Well, if those two are 90, this has to be 90 as well. Okay, because diagonals in a square are perpendicular, so that's going to be 90-degree angle. The only thing that I didn't find yet is what's MS and what's the perimeter. Okay, so those two things I'm going to have to find out. Now, going back to my green triangle, this is a 45, 45, 90, in which I know my hypotenuse. If you remember from before, hypotenuse is always going to be leg times square root of 2. Well, I don't know the legs because that's what I want to find. MS is going to be my x because I don't know what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in all the information I have. Hypotenuse is going to be 6 equals. Leg is going to be x because I don't know it, times square root of 2. Now, this means that I have to solve for x. So I need to get rid of square root of 2. So I'm going to divide everything by square root of 2. Now when I type that in a calculator, I go 6 divided by square root of 2, I get an answer of 4.24. So 4.24 is going to be my x. Now there is another way of actually getting this, and we're going to talk a little bit later about it. At this point, I'm going to accept this as being 4.24. Okay, now the other thing that we have left is the perimeter. Now, what's a perimeter of a square? You just have to add all of the sides together. Well, all of the sides are 6. And how many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the perimeter of my square is going to be 4 times 6. 4 represents the number of sides. Okay, and then 6 represents the side. So what's my parameter? You guessed. Well, 24. And right here, 24, and we're done with this problem. All right, good luck. Now it's your turn to work on your worksheet. Good luck.